Hello everyone, today I will be recording my live session on the E-mini S&P 500 futures. The time frame is 2000 tick chart. So, the bias is quite neutral. Don't forget, we pushed up into this range and you do have a bullish imbalance. As you can see, you're making higher lows and higher highs. Price isn't fully testing the support before going higher. So, I would have liked to see a breakout and then a trend, because that is how most breakouts do not fail. You can fade the breakout when there's no imbalance, when broad 2 legs up, for example, then you can short from a failed breakout. But when you've pushed up into the range, you also have a strong bullish imbalance. You cannot fade the breakout. We didn't even get a breakout anyways. I'm just speculating. I was just talking about if that happened. Then you immediately start reversing lower. Overshoot in a range will most likely overshoot in a range has a high probability to completely reverse the market, because there's just simply not enough momentum to follow through. You do have new low first entry short failure, second entry short failure, double trap at the EMA. The problem is the signal bar is bullish, but I wouldn't have taken it even if the signal bar was good, simply because you do have overshoot. You need something stronger like a lower high setup, so not a takeable setup. And now you're starting to reverse. It looks like 2 legs up, but you've exceeded the measured move. You cannot draw something like this, so I'd rather draw something like this, because it looks better, it's tighter, and it fits price action more. So now I'm going to be taking second entries at the EMA and just hoping to get a setup. We do have a first entry long failure, second entry long to test the new high. The only problem is it's too far from the EMA. No key entry point here, so impossible to take. I would love a double trap, especially because it would look like 2 legs down. Something like this double trap would be quite nice. So I'm just gonna be patient here and wait for a setup. We did actually get a nice reversal bar, but the wick is barely touching the EMA. It's not even touching it. This is how you know that the correction still has not ended, and it actually didn't trigger. I would like to take something now, like if this reverses, I would like to take it, because the wick is at the EMA. Especially if it's a nice reversal bar, then I would be able to take this. So that bar actually didn't reverse, it closed bearish. Now what I would like here is like a tick lower than this and then a reversal, but this looks like it has a lot of momentum, could close bearish. I don't know, I'm just watching the market right now. Unfortunately, there was no entry for us here, nothing triggered, we didn't get no double trap. But we can notice that we might be having a market structure shift, simply because we had a strong bullish imbalance. So the bulls were buying at the top of this range and they were overpowering the bears, but suddenly we were not able to fully test the resistance, not even push above the resistance. We weren't even able to push to the resistance. We created a lower high and we started pushing lower, very strong push lower. We disrespected the support. To be fair, it's not really a strong support. It has only been tested once. It's not really strong support, but the fact that we push down to this level anyways is concerning. So we might be having a shift. I'm not really trusting the bulls that much anymore, and I'm gonna be watching the market here for a bit to see what's gonna happen next, and I'm gonna adapt. Traders, we pushed below. I was skeptical thinking about a market structure shift because the buyers were not going long. You made lower high and reversed, but then you made another strong push above the resistance here. You do have overshoot, break, so expect new high for the uptrend. Perfect measured move, perfect two-legged pullback. As you can see, it perfectly started reversing. First entry short failure. I would love to see a second entry short failure. If this bar reverses and ends bullish, I may be taking a trade here. Breakout pullback and failed second entry short would be a nice trade to take. Now, seconds later, we push below the EMA. This push below the EMA is quite concerning because why are we not reversing, making the new high here? Why are we pushing above the EMA, below the EMA, completely disrespecting it? We're also not holding at this resistance, which is quite weird. So I would have liked to see a reversal to test the new high here, but no entry for us, unfortunately. So very weird, but I'm gonna have to adapt. Now there's a fight between the buyers and sellers. Buyers trying to test the new high of this uptrend, and sellers trying to bring back the price to this range. We are just the spectators here, just watching to see what will happen next. I don't think there's going to be setup soon. We're just too choppy. Traders, we've just had a second entry long here. I personally didn't take it because we do need new extreme, but you made two legs down, you started reversing. The thing is, you're chopping, the EMA is very flat, getting in between the middle of these bars, so that's the first bad sign. You don't want the EMA getting in the middle of these bars, and especially your signal bar, the EMA is exactly in the middle. That's what you don't want. So you're slightly below the EMA, you closed above but you started below the EMA. You don't really have a good key entry point. This resistance actually has, I'm only going to count this as one big test, simply because it just doesn't look like three different bounces. It looks like one big bounce. So this and I'm not going to count this because this is news, this one, so it only has one bounce, so you cannot count that as a key entry point. The only key entry point you have is the EMA, which is actually in the middle of this bar. It also looks like you have two legs up. The pullback is still in play, so just not good enough to take, but could be takeable. Not really. I don't think this setup is takeable. I'm not gonna mark this. So we had break a new high of the uptrend. As you can see, we made a double top here. Double top is enough to count it as new high, and then you start reversing, big reversal. You have tiny break, new extreme, and you come back and you start ranging here. Now you can draw a support out, and if you're looking here, the uptrend has break. It needs new high, so we need new high for the uptrend. You have first entry long. Let us zoom in. As you can see, no bar triggered above the high, and this one, all right, this high definitely exceeds the last bar's high, so that is first entry long, first entry long, failure, second entry long. As you can see, again, it doesn't have to trigger over the body, just the wick is enough. Second entry long, the high of this bar is higher than this bar, and that is second entry long. All right, can you take this second entry long? Absolutely, you can take it. It's a great reversal bar. You pushed above the EMA, so yes, the second entry long is good, but it fails. You get stopped out. That sometimes can happen. And then you have second entry long, double trap. All right, so the traders that bought long here got trapped and they made a double trap. All right, now if you notice, this also looks like visual second entry long. So double trap that looks like visual signature long is a great confirmation. The key entry point is the support, which got tested once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and now it's the 5th time. So double trap, visual second entry long, and multiple test. Great trade. You can take it. This was also a great trade, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Yeah, that is just 1.2. It didn't work out, but if you took it, got out, and then bet again with the double trap, visual second entry long, multiple test, you would have got your profits back and a decent runner. So well done if you did that. If you did that, then you kept your core, you traded discipline, you didn't let this get into your head, and not just because you took a loss you don't want to take a trade. So good job that you took it back. And now you're just going sideways. No real setup, nothing. Second entry long below the EMA though. Can you take it? Oh, actually not. I didn't see that this was a new high already, so no, impossible. I thought that we still didn't trigger the high. I just noticed that. So breaking you out for the option, you start reversing second entry long below the EMA. This could easily be a reversal setup, so impossible to take second entry long here. You would like to take a failed second entry long, but you actually push above the EMA again. Concerning, but then you start a reverse. Alright, now you have a trend, something like this. Break a new low for the downtrend, very strong break a new low, so you have to widen the channel, and now it's just too close for market close. That is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you all in the next time.